What's up everybody, Adrian here, back with another video, and this time I'm going to count down my top 5 most anticipated movies of 2022. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 5, Avatar 2. And I know what you're thinking, why? Who cares? It's been like a million years since the first one. I guess it's just curiosity to see what James Cameron has been up to all these years. He put his entire movie career, at least the later half, on hold to focus on these Avatar movies, making 3 movies back to back to back. So instead of making more original big blockbuster movies like Titanic and maybe a sequel to True Lies, instead he's like, let's do all Avatar. And I'm curious to see if it's going to be a better story than Blue Smurfs mixed with Dances with Wolves. And I want to see all the new technology and the CGI that he came up with, and I'm just hoping it's not too woke. But what I'm really curious about is if this movie bombs, then James Cameron wasted the later half of his entire movie career. He's finished. But if by some miracle the sequel to Avatar is even better and more mind-blowing and it makes more money than all the Avengers movies put together, then that's just gonna be crazy. So that's why I'm really curious to see how this movie does. Number 4 is Jurassic World Domination. Now, I loved the first Jurassic World. It was really good. Plus, I like Chris Pratt. The sequel wasn't as good, but it was still a lot of fun. I'm curious to see what Blue is up to, the Velociraptor, and to see what other new and interesting dinosaurs they come up with. And I'm sure it's going to be pretty fun too. Number 3, The Northman. Now this movie hit me out of nowhere because when the trailer dropped, it went super viral and everybody was freaking out, and I watched some of their reactions. I'm like, what the hell is this movie about? So I checked out the trailer myself and it was amazing. You got Alexander Skarsgård playing some kick-ass Viking, and you got the same director who made the Witch movie and the same director who made The Lighthouse. And they always have interesting, dark, unique new stories. But the trailer, it was kind of reminding me of The Lion King, where you have the uncle who wants to take over as king, so he kills the father, and then the son must seek revenge and he grows up. And plus he's supposed to tag team with a witch, and slowly he's gonna start taking over his uncle's kingdom and get revenge. It looks sick. So I can't wait for this one. Number 2 is the sequel to Top Gun called Maverick. Now the main reason I want to see this movie is because of Tom Cruise. He's getting up there in age and he's not going to be able to do this kind of action movies much longer. And the current action heroes we have now are a bunch of pussies. So when he finally retires or dies, it's going to be a sad day. But I also love the trailer because Tom Cruise loves to do all of his stunts, and he actually learned how to fly a freaking jet plane, and you see him flying a jet plane in the movie. No CGI, no green screen, no stunt double. 100% Tom Cruise. Plus the story looks really cool. You get to see the son of his friend Goose that ended up dead, and that's gonna be really interesting to see what he's been up to and if he's mad at Maverick. Plus the action's gonna be sick and the stunts are gonna be crazy. So I can't wait to see this movie. And before we get to the number 1 most anticipated movie, we're gonna check out some honorable movie mentions. Starting with this movie I came across called You Won't Be Alone, starring Noomi Rapace, which I absolutely love. So I checked out the synopsis for this movie, and it turns out it's about some witch who's hiding out in a village, and she wants to know what it's like to be human. So she takes over the body of some poor innocent villager, but she has all this magic and she's helping out the villagers against whatever villains. So it sounds really interesting. So I'm definitely going to check this one out. Another honorable mention is Morbius. I know nothing about this movie, but it's starring Jared Leto, and it's supposed to be connected to the Spider-Verse, and plus the last Spider-Man was freaking awesome, so anything connected to that should be great. I don't know if this guy's a werewolf, some type of zombie, a superhero, monster, no clue, maybe a vampire, but whatever it is, it looks pretty cool, so I'm gonna check it out. Another honorable mention is Hocus Pocus 2. When I heard that they're finally making a sequel to this movie, I got really excited. I just pray it's not gonna be woke. I know it's not going to be as good as the original, and not all the original characters are coming back, but the original 3 witches are coming back, and I'm curious to see what direction and what story they're going to take. Plus, it was part of my childhood, so I have to check it out. Another honorable mention is Uncharted. I did see the trailer. It looked kind of interesting. It was packed full of action. Plus you got Tom Holland, who's coming off Spider-Man, so he still has momentum going. So the movie might still make some money. Plus you got Mark Wahlberg, so he's solid no matter what. The only thing I'm afraid of is that it's based off of a video game. And 9 times out of 10, every movie that is based off a video game ends up sucking and flopping in the movie theater. But maybe, just maybe, this could be an exception and might actually be pretty good. And finally, the last honorable mention is Mission Impossible 7. I can't believe it's that many, but again, anything with Tom Cruise that he's doing now, I gotta check out. And plus, all the Mission Impossible movies except number 2 were really great. So I'm curious to see what direction they're gonna take with this movie. I don't know anything about it. There was no trailer, there's no synopsis. I haven't heard any new details, but I'm sure it's gonna be good. And finally, my most anticipated movie of 2022 is none other than, you guessed it, and it's probably yours, Sneakerella.
Where have you been? You were supposed to be here, working.
I lost track of time.
This is the real world!
No, I'm joking. My number 1 most anticipated movie? Of course, The Batman. This is everybody's most anticipated movie. Every trailer was awesome. I can't wait to see the Riddler. I like Robert Pattinson as the new Batman. You got Catwoman in there. Zoe Kravitz is hot, but as Catwoman, I need to see how the movie is. I pray that it's not too woke or not too much focused on Catwoman or has like an underlining feminism agenda, and I hope she doesn't push Batman around too much, but this looks awesome. Plus you got Matt Reeves directing it. He's taking a lot of inspiration from classic movies like Chinatown, Taxi Driver, Seven, The French Connection. I'm probably gonna go see this movie more than once if it's good, and you know they're gonna have a sequel or a trilogy, and after seeing the trailers, what more can I say about this movie? So I'll be counting down the days until the Batman movie comes out. And there you go, everybody. That's my top 5 most anticipated movies of 2022. Let me know in the comments which movies are your most anticipated movies. And thanks for watching. Until next time, see you next video.